Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. Touchdown, Carolina! DJ Moore, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. I'll look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. 4 catches, 77 yards.
5th in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong category. I mean, if you're in the top 5 in anything, I don't care whether it's football or tiddlywinks, you're having a nice season.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Here's Tannehill. Wide open receiver complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go on the ground. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Tackle made by K'Wan Short.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
And they're running right through it. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's third down.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway. They
head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, Find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Looking for the end zone. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now fourth down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. As we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away, They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
This is a dive. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard in the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw is Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. K1 short. Breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play for the Saints on 3rd down. 43 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands, That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's Tannehill. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Saints are back within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. A shotgun snap for Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Tannehill now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So it's halftime here in Charlotte. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Tannehill. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now it's Ajayi, and he stopped immediately there. Dante Hightower on the stop. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back to throw, Newton. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Shrugs him off. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Back to throw, Tannehill. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. So they go play action, 3 tight ends out there in the heavy set.
Well, they showed everything that suggested running play. Just what you mentioned, 3 tight ends, heavy formation, able to go play action off of it because if you're a defender, you're thinking it's a running play with that much beef on the field.
But they passed it, and they got 6 out of it. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well, and that one goes incomplete.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Able to spin free, escaping the pressure right. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They run with Ajayi. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocks.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but so on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the 50, it's Tannehill. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. K1 short. In there to get him. His second sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, you know, there. That only helps the other team.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. DeAndre Hopkins, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to it, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Tannehill. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards there and a first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
12 more yards there and another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again is Tannehill. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Josh Hill with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, that's Gomez. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Tyler Davison in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Newton. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Now it's Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Now Newton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Saints, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.